Hello and welcome to another video from the Metal Evangelist. This is my top albums of 2018 video. Long overdue. Plenty of reasons why. I'm not going to get into them, but I'm sorry. Maybe next year we'll get this one out by the end of January. We'll try. I'll try. It's just me. Anyway, I got 40 awesome albums that I want to show you. These are my favorite of 2018. Doesn't mean they're the best of 2018, so to speak, but these are the ones that kind of stuck with me and just, they're the ones that I always go to. So, without further ado, let's start at number 40. We got some vinyl, we got some CDs, and I haven't rehearsed anything, haven't studied much. This might be a big old mess, but anyway, here we go. First one, number 40. Oubliette. This is some black metal from Tennessee. Oh, the album's called The Passage. Black metal from Tennessee. I believe it's their second full-length album. This one came out on the Artisan era. And it's got a female vocalist in their ranks. Let's see if I got any info in here. Oh yeah, here we go. Emily Lowe is the vocalist, and she does an amazing job. She sings the black metal shrieks, and she sings just operatic, awesome female vocals. There's the names of everyone in the band. Their first CD was put out by the Artisan era, I do believe, and it was just in a cardboard sleeve. Now we've got full-on vinyl treatment, and check this thing out. That is some clear splatter vinyl. Awesome stuff. The Artisan era has really stepped up their game and put out some great stuff in 2018, and there's a lot more to come from them. That's the label that was started by Malcolm from Inferi, and good job putting out great stuff like Oubliette. Alright, set that down. On to number 39. We got a CD for you. This is a death metal band from here in Minneapolis. Krog. It's their debut full-length called Herculaneum. Some awesome cover art they've got on there. This was released by Twin Town Tyrant Records. 10 tracks. This is kind of more your brutal, old-school death metal, but more of a modern sound. A little more, I don't want to say slam, but it gets in that territory. The vocals are really good. There's no like kick grunts the whole time, but here's the guys playing live at the Hexagon Bar, local metal dive here in Minneapolis. Great photo of them. Yeah, the drumming on here is insane. The drummer's awesome. The guitars are. I mean, this is like an all-star cast of old school death metal heads from here in Minneapolis, so you can't really go wrong with Krog. Alright, coming in at 38, we've got some black metal from the East Coast. This is Windfarer with their album Alma. This came out on Avant-Garde Records. And this is a black metal band that plays some killer music, and their claim to fame is they have a full-time violinist. He fits in really well with the music. It's not like a gimmick. He plays riffs with the music, helps with the atmosphere. There's the guys in there. Some great stuff. This is the insert, some lyrics on it. And the record itself, this awesome mustard yellow vinyl color. Symbol in the middle. So yeah, Windfarer. Just about all these albums you can find on Bandcamp's my go-to for finding music and keeping track of it. So we'll have links to everything in the description of this video. whether it be on YouTube or I think I'm going to also upload it to Facebook this year because more people are on Facebook that I know anyway. Alright, moving along. Number 37 is some more black metal. This one is called Nut. N-O-T-T. It's like an old Norse word. And it's got 5 songs. It's not quite an EP length. It's a little longer than that. But this is some crazy good stuff put out by James Benson, the vocalist of Evangelist. He's basically a multi-instrumentalist. He plays bass in Fail to Decay, and he sings and plays guitar in Chrome Waves, which just released a new album. He's from Rochester, Minnesota. Amazing dude, really talented. He just, all of a sudden, I need to make this black metal album that was different than his normal band, Evangelist, which makes also black metal, but this is a little more Nordic sounding, a little more Scandinavian sounding. It's very vicious, hits really hard. James is one of the best vocalists I've heard around, so he can do just about anything. But I've got the CD in a cardboard sleeve that's self-released. Again, Bandcamp. Some other label, I can't remember which one because I didn't do my homework, is releasing this on vinyl. I will probably get it, but just haven't yet. So that's not coming in at number 37 on my top albums countdown. Moving along, we've got another LP. How about some stuff from Dark Descent? They put out some of the most amazing death metal that you've heard in the past 6-8 years. Here's another one. This is Corpsessed with their new album. And you can't read it. What's it called? Impetus of Death. With this crazy cover art. This old dude on stilts that's must be walking through the wasteland with these guys on his back. I don't know what is going on with this, but it's awesome. The vinyl's a dual release between Dark Descent and Meisaka Unojo Records, who also puts out a lot of good stuff. There's an alternate Corpsessed logo. Got the song titles up there. Here's a photo of the guys in the band. And the lyrics are on here. Got some cool little pieces of artwork to go along with that while you're reading. Really nice packaging here. I think there was a version that was like a brown. I went for the black. It just depends. Sometimes I like the black vinyl because I actually do use these to DJ either live or on the radio, and it's a lot easier to find the groups that you're looking for when the vinyl is black instead of like a colored, but just how the spirit moves me. So that was Corpsessed with my number 36 pick. And coming in at number 35, another LP, another Minnesota project. This is an Exorum with Lore of the Lakes, released by Gilead Media. And this is a black metal, I almost want to say one-man project from Carl Skildum of Antiverse. He did have Matt Kirkwald of the same band who produced it, play some bass tracks on it. But he put this one together himself. It's the back cover. It's quite an awesome full length. This is more of like second wave Scandinavian black metal. That's kind of Carl's favorite genre, and he just wanted to make an album. The logo is done by my friend Joshua Decker of J. Decker Art. If you're looking for a logo, that's his wheelhouse. So look him up on Facebook and your new logo. And the photograph was taken by Alan Town of Wolftown Media, who does videos and photography sessions. So this is this is 100% like homegrown Minnesota album right here, with all these guys working on it. Let's see. There's some cool artwork on the insert. Got some lyrics on here. Little thanks list. There is Carl himself, and here's his bandmate Matt. comes with the sticker, which is always nice. And I do believe they got the colored vinyl in this version. Oh yeah. It's like this blue aqua splatter. That is some cool stuff. Side B. Again, Lore of the Lakes, it's really about the feelings that you get from exploring the northern Minnesota wilderness, as Carl can explain. So this is a great album. Again, black metal, kind of a must-own, I would say, especially for people that live in Minnesota and like black metal. So coming in next on the list, number 34 is Green Death with Hollow Mass. And this is some thrash from, I'm going to turn that phone off. This is some thrash from Iowa. Hold on a second. I'm just doing this live. Turn it off. So this came out on the reactivated Combat Records, which is owned by Dave Ellison. And the funny thing that I don't still understand, the sticker, there was a sticker that said Green Death. I don't know why they didn't put the logo on there. But you can see Combat Records. And Hollow Mass, just some really nice, oh here's the guys, thrash metal with some kind of more traditional heavy metal stylings here and there. This is available, I think the best place to get this is Amazon, actually. You can get it on Amazon. Or you can look them up on Bandcamp. There's a vinyl version of this as well, which I haven't yet to pick up, but I plan to in the future. So that's Hollow Mass from Green Death. It's their third album. It's the best so far. Alright, coming in at number 33, we got some more Midwestern metal, and this is from Lords of the Trident. Power metal from Madison, Wisconsin. Their new album's called Shadows from the Past, and it kind of picks up where Frostburn left off. Just soaring falsetto vocals, crazy fast thrash riffs, and awesome solos, good drumming. This one is a dual vinyl. You got side A, B, C, and D. Awesome gatefold here with artwork. And it has one of the best songs I've heard, Burn It Down with Fire, featuring Brittany Slays from Unleash the Archers. The song gives me chills every time I listen to it. Inside, here we go, we've got a nice lyric sheet in full color. Some band members' pictures in a live setting strewn in there. And this one comes on blood red wax. Lords of the Trident. It's about their 8th release, 7th or 8th release overall. I think their 4th full length. They just keep getting better, so you gotta support the, oh, this is independently released, by the way. These guys are some of the hardest working dudes in the underground. They put out their albums all by themselves. They also put out an acoustic album of their songs, just as a surprise at the end of last year, and they do a great job with everything they do. So Lords of the Trident coming in at number 33 on the Metal Evangelist Top 40 Albums of 2018. Let's move on. Got some more black metal, this time the Icelandic variety. This is Carpe Noctem with the album Vitrin. And this is kind of your avant-garde styled black metal, again from Iceland. This cover art is what drew me in and made me listen to it. It's drawn by Stephen Wilson of, I can't remember his name, Unknown Relic, I think is what he goes by online. Here's the insert. Got more artwork with every song and the lyrics. Really nice packaging. And let's see, I believe this is just, oh, this came out on Code 666 in association with Aural Music. Oh yeah, and this has almost a yin-yang black and white merge vinyl presentation. Really good stuff. So that is that album. trying to make sure all my top 40 albums I have a physical release that I can show you. Okay, coming in at number 31, we've got another record. This one is called Innumerable Forms. Some old school death metal from guys on the East Coast. Punishment in Flesh. This was released by Profound War Records. And just old school death metal the way it's supposed to sound. With some groove, with some punk attitude, with some great vocals, and oh, sorry, this one's a gatefold. I should probably show you that. The awesome gatefold with the logo for Innumerable Forms inside. This crazy artwork. And this is a really well packaged vinyl. It's just the little things like you'll see the vinyl's blue and the inside of the cardboard is blue. Just little things like that make it kind of special from a packaging standpoint. But here's the vinyl itself. Kind of a light blue. Really great old school death metal. Lots of cool riffs on this. So Innumerable Forms, my number 31 of 2018. Let's see. Coming up next, we've got a CD. It's Obscura with Diluvium. This is some progressive technical death metal from Germany, if I'm not mistaken. It was released by Relapse Records. Just riffs for days, lots of good atmosphere. Their previous album was in one of my top 40 lists from a couple of years ago. This is the fourth and final album in a running story that they put together. It looks like just amazing players, lots of really good riffs, really good arrangements, great vocals. They've got some of those auto-tuned synth style vocals and spots that really sound nice. So that's my number 30 album of 2018, Obscura with Diluvium. Coming in at number 29, we've got some black metal from Quebec, from Spectral Wound. This album is called Infernal Decadence, released by Vendetta Records, and this is just some vicious, biting, cold black metal from Canada. If you were at all put off or kind of bored with the new Uada record, this will cure what ails you. This thing is just awesome. Step by step, one goes into the darkness. The movement itself is the only truth. A little hidden message right there. So yeah, this is their second album from Montreal, Quebec, Spectral. This one, when I went to order it, the vinyl was sold out, but I think the vinyl's back in print from Vendetta, so go check that out. Spectral Wound, number 29. Coming in at number 28, we've got another record. This one comes from 20 Buck Spin. It's Ulthar with Cosmobore, and all those stickers on the sleeve. This, I mean, just looking at it, you are drawn in by this insane cover artwork. It's just mind-boggling. I can't even imagine how much time went into making this. The reps on the back a little bit there. But Ulthar, I think they're from the East Coast, and they play death metal, but it's a little more of a avant-garde on the progressive side, but not totally off the wall. This vinyl is ridiculous too. I mean, it's orange, blue, red splatter merge. Not a lot of guitar solos in the traditional sense like you hear on a death metal record, so that's why I was a little farther down in my list. But the main riffs are, it's kind of like a cross between the cavernous death metal that you hear like the caveman riffs and more avant-garde stuff. So it's kind of a mix in that regard. But Ulthar, really good stuff. They're playing the NYDM Spring Bash in April in Milwaukee, so I'm pretty excited to see those guys. Okay, coming in next at number 27, we've got some Irish metal from Primordial, Exile Amongst the Ruins. This one came out really early in 2018 on Metal Blade Records. Actually, I got a chance to interview the lead singer on the phone. He was a really cool guy. And I'd known about Primordial, actually saw them live back in like 2006 maybe, here in Minnesota, before I even lived here. And I never had really gotten into them that much, but I gave this one an extra good listen because I got to interview the vocalist, and this one is pretty good. It's, again, they're rooted in black metal, but they don't really play traditional black metal anymore. It's almost just like a heavy extreme metal, like a rockin' extreme metal, where he doesn't sing guttural either anymore. It's more of a like a shouted yell. Here's a picture of the guys. Most of you are pretty familiar with Primordial. But I did really enjoy this album. The songs are kind of long, so it's one of those where you have to be in the right mood for it to just sit down and let it absorb into your brain. But yeah, Primordial, my number 27. Coming in at 26, we've got some traditional heavy metal that sort of, well, you can obviously see that it takes its influence from King Diamond. This is Carriage with their album Visions. I believe it's their debut album. It's released by Stormspell Records, and the vocals, again, if you're going to try to copy King Diamond, the vocals have to be spot on, and these are. And then you add to that all the great riffs that are written for this album, and you've got close to a masterpiece of a debut. I think these guys are from the East Coast, except the singer moved to Crystal Lake, Illinois, which is near where I grew up, which is kind of weird. Robbie Rainey. So I don't know how... They're still an active band, but I don't think they're touring because the members are kind of spread out. Stormspell always does a good job with their packaging. Here's some collage on the inside. And you've got this glossy paper, and just a really nice presentation. All the lyrics are in here. So if you like some King Diamond-esque traditional heavy metal 80s style, you need to check out this one, Carriage with Visions. Alright, coming up next we've got, where is it? Here we go, a little bit out of order. Some doom death from Finland. It's Hooded Menace. Their new album, how do I pronounce this? Asarium Silhouettes Unhallowed. This came out very early in 2018 as well, and it came out on Season of Mist. Can't really see it down in the corner, but they had a new vocalist come in. Lassi Pinko was the... I'm sure I'm saying his name wrong. Sorry, Lassi. He was the longtime founder and band leader, and he, Lassi Pinko. I can't really pronounce Finnish names. But he gave up his vocal duties to Hari Kokkonen to just take on guitar, and the vocals are really good. Not that his were bad, but they're improved. Awesome gatefold we've got here. This is some kind of plodding doom death, but it does get faster in parts. I mean, Hooded Menace, you should know about them by now. They've been around for a while. But this is probably their best album in a few years. And it comes on this kind of like transparent beer-colored vinyl. Again, Season of Mist. Great stuff. This is one, you sort of have to be in the right mood for it too, because the songs are long. It takes up a lot of time to listen to it, but it's well worth it. So, Hooded Menace coming in at number 24. Okay, 23. we've got some more Dark Descent material. This is full-length from Burial Invocation, and their album is called Abiogenesis. First thing you'll notice, you've got this crazy cover artwork, and yes, it's Dan Seagrave. He's building more castles out in the middle of nowhere with strange things emanating from them. If you look really close, you can see trilobites, fish, giant squid, kind of like bug larvae, and there's even a shark in there. Yeah, there he is. Dan Seagrave, the master of metal cover art, always my favorite. Here's the back. Again, this is Dark Descent Records. Sako Unojo put this one out as well. And let's see, we've got a gatefold. With lyrics and more artwork. Close up of Dan's ridiculous work. And let's pull this sucker out and see what we got. Yeah, this is one of those ones, you know, sometimes, well, with Dark Descent, you don't usually pay too much for the color vinyl, maybe $1 more. But for this one, I went with the black. Sometimes I don't order it right away, and that's all it is. But I've come to terms with being okay with just having black vinyl. It's not a big deal. But sometimes, yeah, just it makes you click on that order button faster if there's a crazy looking vinyl color that goes along with the album. So, oh, again, Burial Invocation, death metal from Turkey. They have some longer songs too. Lots of kind of doomy, slower passages, but they also have the brutal, fast stuff. Very old school sounding. Awesome guitar solos too. So yeah, obviously check this one out if you haven't. Okay, Burial Invocation. Coming up next, Valgrund. This is some Swedish death metal. Blackest Horizon, I think it's their second or third album. This came out on Everlasting Spew, which has been putting out some great stuff recently. And I was kind of blown away with how good this record was. Again, old school death metal, you think, oh, it all sounds the same. No, this one does not. This has just awesome riffs for days. The guy's vocals, they kind of teeter on that dry, hoarse style that like Martin Van Buren has, but they sound just a little bit different, a little bit pained. You can hear the pain in these vocals, so it's kind of refreshing to have something that's a little bit different. So Valgrund, when I previewed it, ordered it, and then listened to the whole thing, I was kind of blown away. So that's my number 22 pick of the Metal Evangelist 2018 top albums. Okay, coming up next, we've got... Why is this one out of order? That's alright. Did I miss it? Oh, I missed it. Well, we're not redoing this. We'll go back. Let's go back in time to after Primordial, but before Carriage, to number 26, where I forgot to pick up Sulphur Eon. Their third full-length is called The Sigh of Cosmic Chaos, and this is released by Von Records. And if you don't know Sulphur Eon, they play Lovecraftian, just evil, cosmic death metal. There is the guys in the band doing some kind of ritual sacrifice, obviously. Normal day for them. And here's some more of the Cthulhu artwork, which is just insane. This one comes with a full-sized lyric booklet. There's some more, just another Saturday for Sulphur Eon on the back cover. And, yeah, wow. All kinds of artwork if you get too scared. There's a pyramid underwater. Why not? That must be where Cthulhu is. And this just immaculate presentation for this album, which is kind of a hallmark. What's going on? Whack up. Computer's trying to go to sleep. Wake up! I think we're still here. Yes, we are still here. Good. Yep, 30 minutes. Again, just recording this live. Minimal editing. Whatever. Sulfur Eon, out of order. This is like a dark green with smoke vinyl. I'm gonna see some of the smoke behind me. But some people were complaining about this album because there were new elements, like clean singing on a one track, maybe two, and they were pissed. Okay, well, if you can't handle that, just go back and listen to the old albums and shut the F up. This one is really good. Obviously, it made my list. Sulfur Eon, that was 26. And we got all the way up to, we did Valgrand at 22. And we're going to jump back into number 21 with Chemist. Now, the previous Chemist album was like 1 or 2 on Decibel's list last time it came out, and I don't think this one was even on it. So, it kind of shows how fair weather fans they are, but I do love Decibel, but I like to make fun of them. Desolation's the name of this, their third album, and I guess it's not quite as good as the last one, but the first 3 tracks, side A, is phenomenal. It gets a little, I don't know, it drops off just a tiny bit on side B. Not as good, but the first 3 tracks are great. Again, this is doom metal from the Colorado area, I think Denver, and they throw in a lot of good singing. It's almost like Pallbearer, but it's not as boring. And then the other guitarist will do some growls here and there. So I got like the tan version of the record. This is $20 spin. Came out pretty early again in the year. Maybe a lot of people forgot about it, but yeah, everything Chemist has put out has been really good to great, and this one falls maybe in the middle there somewhere. So yeah, there's this copper embossing on the record. It's really good stuff. And if you've been paying attention to the artwork, the artwork kind of tells a story too. The first record, you see this sorceress and the old wizard kind of together in the throne room, and then on the second record you see them going into battle against another guy, and on this one it's after the battle and you can see some severed heads. These wolves have some arms. Oh, and the guy they were battling is in the stocks. So it's kind of nice to see that kind of I don't know, attention to detail put into albums. It's one of the many reasons why I like metal. Okay, we're back on track. We're not going to skip anything again, I hope. After Chemist at 21, we've got number 20 is the new album from Revocation, The Outer Ones. Again, I am drawn in by the craziness of artwork in metal, but the songs inside are just as crazy, just as epic. Revocation, they just put out so many albums, it's almost insane. Like, you could cut half their production and they'd still be like a legendary band for what they do. But this new one on Metal Blade, one of my favorites. Technical, progressive, death metal with some thrashy elements. And let's see, I think I got the fun color for this one too. Saw these guys live, they were awesome. Oh yeah. Got transparent green with blue splatter in it. That's just wild. Gotta love that. So yeah, Revocation. The last couple albums, like Deathless, I think was the last one I really liked. There was probably one in between this. They're very prolific with how much stuff they put out. But and another thing that kind of gets me is they're so prolific that sometimes their songs aren't very memorable. They just kind of all blend together. But this one has some jams that you can really get stuck in your head. So highly recommended. Obviously, it's on the list. Okay. That was number 20. Coming in at 19, we've got some legends of heavy metal. It's Judas Priest with Firepower. Their second return to form in their career, I would say. Yes, they got a new guitarist, and he is quite the student of the band. He has crafted some amazing riffs that work well with the style. We've got artwork that harkens back to the heydays of the 80s, and this is a double album released by Epic Records, who have been actually been putting out, well, not lately, but in the past they put out a lot of great metal, so they've got a history there. But I just got the black vinyl. I didn't want to have just a CD of this epic comeback album with all these great songs on it. I wanted to get the full-blown vinyl presentation. So Judas Priest makes my list at number 19. Coming in at number 18, we've got some Scandinavian melodic death metal from Amorphous, Queen of Time. This band is one I had written off a long time ago. They kind of lightened up their sound in the early 2000s, and I just left them. I've come to find out that they got heavier, and I didn't know. So Queen of Time came out, and it was so good that I picked it up, and I listened to it, put it down, came back to it, and realized that every song is just amazing. Great riffs, heavy, good melody too. Though it's not your stereotypical melodic death metal, and the guttural vocals are just so powerful that I'll start playing this one and I have to listen to the whole thing. So this is the digipack with 2 bonus tracks. Nuclear Blast Records put this out, and it's highly recommended. I'm sure if you're a fan of Amorphous, you already know and have this, but if you're like me and kind of have written them off, check this one out and see if you like it. It's really good. Alright, that's number 18. Coming in at number 17, we've got some power metal from Edmonton, Canada, with Strikers, Play to Win. This is kind of a self-released, their own record is called Record Breaking Records, and they've been putting out a lot of albums lately. Their previous one was not my favorite. The one previous to that was my favorite. And this is sort of a mini return to form. Now, I did the special pre-order, so it's got this signed cover, and everyone that ordered it has their name in very tiny print. But then here's the regular booklet. This is just Sunset Strip styled heavy metal, not glam. It's thrashy, it's soaring vocals, hooks for days, and yeah, I hope these guys come back to Minnesota and play for us sometime soon, because it's been a while since they were here and they're always good. So, Striker, back up on my list for 2018 at number 17 with Play to Win. Okay, coming in at 16, we've got some technical death metal from Lago. I do believe these guys are from Arizona, if I'm not mistaken. And this album is called Sea of Duress, which is ironic if they're from Arizona, since there's no sea there. Anyway, it's out on Unique Leader Records, and this is another one of those albums that it just hooks you in and you want to listen to the whole thing because the riffs are so good. Just really great stuff from these guys. I think it's maybe their second album or their debut, but yeah, don't overlook Lago. They are okay. Coming in at 15, we've got some more local to Minnesota stuff. I'll leave this in here because the logo. Ephrons, their third album. I say there, but it's one guy named Jory, and it's called The Bleakness of Our Constant. And Jory moved here to Minnesota from Montana a couple years back, and this is his first album that he's released since he's been here, first full length. It's out on Bindrund and Nordis, and this is some crazy good atmospheric melodic black metal. Jory, like I mentioned, writes the whole album, he does the whole thing, but he is looking to get a full band together to take on tour. He has played live all by himself with backing tracks a couple times at the Hexagon, but he's looking to flesh out this project as a full band, so if you are a player, bass, drums, guitar of atmospheric, melodic, black metal, with just a lot of feeling to it, you should go check this one out and then give Jory a call and see if your services are needed. This is an amazing album. It's just got lots of highs and lows. It takes you on a journey. It's just amazing. Let's see if I've got some stuff. Here's a picture of Jory in the Woods. Had him on my radio show, Roar of the Underground, to interview. Brought in some really good picks. Good songs. But yeah, this is a hell of a good album. I've seen it on other people's top 2018 albums lists, even at number 1, I think, in some cases. So, and Efrons, The Bleakness of Our Constant. Go check it out. Alright, coming in at number 14. This isn't a full length, but it's an EP that's so good, it's on the list. This is the second release from Sentient Horror, The Crypts Below. This one came out on Testimony and Redefining Darkness. This is like the epitome of old school death metal. You've got 5 tracks, well, 4 tracks and 1 cover. Dark Day is an Edge of Sanity cover, but these guys just completely rip. Just riffs for days. I mean, when you see a cover like that, you know what you're getting. And this album delivers. Let's see. Even for an EP. There's the guys playing live. Matt Moliti is the main dude. He used to be in a power metal band, so he knows all the theory and the scales, so you get all these crazy good riffs, and then all these awesome leads that are played exceptionally well. It's just black metal. But Sentient Horror, they put out their debut on the same label, and it was really good. And this EP is even better, and I think they're planning a new one for 2020 or forward. We'll see. So Sentient Horror, The Crypts Below, that's number 14 on my list. Okay, coming in at 13 is some crazy death metal from Russia. Sorry, I shouldn't cover my face when I'm talking to the camera. Cyst, The Frozen Casket. Again, this is an EP, but this is so crazy good that it had to be on my list. This one came out early in the year. Actually, there's 2 versions of it here. So this is the original from the band, straight out of Mother Russia, with 5 tracks. And this stuff sounds like early death, pestilence kind of death metal, straight out of the late 80s. It is just insane. These guys have been putting out like a couple EPs here and there for a few years now, and everything just sounds killer. So they had a crowdfunding for this. Metal Race Records and Hell's Thrash Horseman Records put this out. I got it from Russia with a cool shirt. And then it got picked up in the States by, again, Redefining Darkness Records in this digipack form. And it's got 3 bonus tracks. So if you buy I got this from Hell's Headbangers, which is a great place to get it. So it's almost like a full-length album with these other EP tracks thrown on, which are all just as good. But this is a really nice digipack presentation. Cyst they're just amazing. Like they put together some great old death metal songs, like in the Florida style. Not the guttural style, but more the thrash side of things. So, because that's kind of where they came from. So, Cyst with The Frozen Casket, highly, highly recommended. Okay, that was 13. We're on the last page of my notes here. 44 minutes in. We'll keep going here. Let's see. Alright, number 12. Clocking in at number 12 is the new album from Christian, which is called Scourge of the Enthroned. Now, Christian, again, one of those bands that they don't always tickle my fancy, so to speak, but this one is amazing. It's produced by Andy Clausen, who has worked on a lot of thrash metal records and is a really good producer. So that's one of my qualms with this band in the past, is the production just seems muddy and weird at times. The drums can seem off, but Andy got a great sound out of these guys, and they put together a pack of songs that ebbs and flows. Instead of just pounding on you the entire album, there's some interlude parts in the song, some slower parts, some just heavier parts. It really breaks up the chaos and makes it a nice listenable package. So still a three-piece as always from Brazil. Crisian, they did a great job with this album. That's why it comes in at number 12 on my list for 2018. And coming in at number 11, we've got some Swedish death thrash with Maligner. This band had its demo released on CD by Unspeakable Acts last year. This one is released by Blood Harvest. It's called Attraction to Annihilation. And if you like just brutal thrash metal in the vein of Demolition Hammer and Exhorter, you need to check this one out. You will not be disappointed. We're getting into the cream of the crop for 2018 here, and this is a must-own if you like death thrash. So, Maligner with Attraction to Annihilation. Let's see, top 10. Go with our top 10. I mentioned Carl Skilden before. This is his full band with Matt, called Antiverse. Under the Regolith came out on Seeing Red Records this year, and this album is actually about 2.5 to 3 years old, because there's a long story about how it didn't get released by anybody, had to be re-recorded, remixed a few times. We won't get into all of that, but it finally came out, saw the light of day. Has this crazy good cover art. The artist escapes my name, but he's very famous. Sorry, I didn't do my homework again, but this album is just a ripping thrash metal record, death thrash again. I want to say rest in peace to Jason Bauer, who was the bass player. He unfortunately passed away about a month ago from colon cancer, but he had a really great send-off with this band, playing live shows and getting to do what he loved before his passing. So I want to say thank you, Jason, for being who you were. I didn't know you as well as everyone else did, but the world lost a great guy. So, Antiverse, Under the Regolith, this album slays. Coming in at number 9. This one just popped on my radar. I don't even remember how or why, but it is Executioner. Is it Executioner? Yes. With three X's. They're all kind of jammed up there in the logo. This is some thrash metal, old school, 80s, like before 1986 sounding thrash metal from the UK. This, I mean, it's one of those records when you're like, oh, what's this? And you put it on and you're like, holy shit, this is going to be in my top albums list. And by track 3, you're like, this is in my top 10 albums list. This was released by Ulthar Records. There it is. Ulthar. Imported it from Europe, and it was well worth the ridiculous price to ship it over here, because, again, this is just some ripping old school thrash metal. Nothing modern about it, nothing trendy about it, it just slays. So, Executioner, my number 9 album for 2018. Moving on to number 8, we've got some more homegrown stuff from here in Minnesota. Coffin Rot with their album Retribution Divine. This is some crazy good death metal from 5 guys here in Minneapolis, and it's got a black metal edge to it because the vocalist Drew Blood. It's more of a black metal vocalist. He can do guttural, but he does a lot of black metal kind of screaming on here. So you get kind of this hybrid black and death metal, but the riffs are so big and chunky. It's more of an old school sound to it too. The cover artwork, if you hadn't noticed, is Carl Dahmer, who incidentally did my logo for Roar of the Underground. This came out on Zero Budget Records, which is run by Will Marvellis, who's also a producer at 1459 Studios, who recorded this, and is one of the guitarists in the band. There's the guys. Tom Tier, amazing drummer. I mentioned Will. Eric Zidek, hell of a great guitarist. And Casey Harris, bass player extraordinaire in many bands here in Minnesota. So this is just a ripper of a death metal album. Kind of, yeah, this image kind of sums up what the whole thing sounds like. So go check this out. You can get this one. You can get this one from Zero Budget Records online. Get it on Bandcamp. You get it everywhere digitally. Coffin Rot, Retribution Divine, number 8 on my top 40 albums countdown of 2018. Let's move on to number 7. From Unspeakable Acts Records, this is Zealotry. Their new album is called At the Nexus of All Stillborn Worlds. And this is some amazing, technical, old school death metal in the vein of Demolic. And I like that you've got like a white kind of background instead of black all the time. And yeah, just riffs for days, crazy arrangements, amazing drumming. I think a lot of people slept on this one because it came out towards the end of the year before, you know, some people put their lists out in December when stuff is still coming out, still fresh. And yeah, I mean, I myself haven't listened to it enough, but it's one of those ones where when I did listen to it, I'm like, oh yeah, this is killing. So Zealotry comes in at number 7 on my list. Let's see, we're coming up on number 6 with a band from Cincinnati, Ohio. This is Valdrin with 2 Carry-On Talismans. This is black metal with a death metal kind of edge to it. This is their second full length. This one released by Blood Harvest. And you've just got some crazy good songs, great atmosphere, the heaviness of death metal, the shrieking evilness of black metal combined. These guys are killer. Awesome artwork on the inside. I don't think there's a vinyl of this, but if there is, I need to get it. Maybe I should go look at that after this video. So that's my number 6. Valdrin, 2 Carry-On Talisman. Top 5. We've reached the top 5. We've been doing this for 53 minutes. We're still going. Mortuous! Through Wilderness. One of those... There's something in the water out in out in Oakland, where all these dudes are just kind of shuffling themselves around and making new death metal bands that are amazing. This came out on Tank Crimes. Mortuous is one of them. Just, you want those riffs that give you that old school feeling of bleakness, heaviness, desperation, and Mortuous does it. They just really do it for you. Great production, big chunky HM2 sounding, but not obnoxious. This is like a copper vinyl version. So yeah, Mortuous, just some killer death metal, old school death metal. I mean, just looking at the cover art, you can tell. You can listen to it as I played it as well. That is number 5, Mortuous. Coming in at number 4 is the newest album from Horrendous, Idol. They made the jump to Season of Mist. That didn't affect them in any way, other than they get a little more distribution. Longtime Dark Descent Records alumni, but Idol, it's really damn good. You feel like this band, since they play sort of progressive death metal, that they're going to get pretentious at some point and just do way too much, but they don't. They just keep making amazing records. I do believe this is their third or fourth full length, and yeah, they put their heart and soul into it, and you can hear it in the music. Whoops, things are flying around. I think this is black. Yeah, I just got the black one of this. So, great album. Lots of, again, with metal, for me, as someone who likes death metal and thrash metal, it's all about the riffs, and this one has it in spades. So, yeah, there's a lyric sheet in here too. Nothing too fancy. But that's my number 4, Horrendous with Idol. Coming in at number 3. Oh man, I think these guys are from, they're from Greece. Ectoplasma, Cavern of Foul Unbeings. This is their debut full length. They put out a couple other releases. No, it's their second full length. They've got like 5 releases already, a couple EPs. It's hard to keep track. But again, more crazy old school death metal. This one was released by Memento Mori. There is a vinyl version of this, which I haven't picked up yet, hoping it hits this distro in the States at some point. But yeah, if you just want evil riffs and great songwriting, this is where it's at. One of those records that you put it on and you don't want to turn it off. So again, my tastes lean death and thrash, and you're seeing that in this list. So Ectoplasma, Cavern of Foul Unbeings, my number 3 for 2018. Coming up to number 2, another one that came out early in the year and stuck with me. It's the album from Sluggish. Saw a review for this on Banger TV on YouTube. Oh, Esoteric Malacology, by the way. I saw Sam Dunn review this, and again, I get pulled in by the cover art, but he said it was really amazing, and it is. This is progressive death metal, where slugs take over the world, or have always been in charge. And there's some longer songs, but there's just some crazy good stuff to listen to. It's atmospheric, it's brutal, it's got everything you want. Plus, it's got some awesome colored vinyl. This was released by Willowtip? Yeah, very small Willowtip Records, which has a lot of stuff coming out in 2019, but I got the purple ones. Got the purple vinyl. This is just a hell of a good record. Obviously, that's why it's number 2. So, Sluggish with Esoteric Malacology. They're from the UK. I think this is their 3rd release overall. And it's just really badass. So, that brings us to our number 1 on the list. And I think this one has been number 1 on my list ever since I heard it this year. This is a Dark Descent release. Very worthy. It's Skeletal Remains. About their 3rd full length, their first for Dark Descent Records, called Devouring Mortality. Again, you've got the package of Dan Seagrave cover art and the crazy, memorable riffs in all the different songs with the vocals that kind of remind you of Chuck Schuldiner in the 80s, and you've just got a hell of a great record. You've got a gatefold here. There's the guys. Got lyrics on this side. And I think I got the colorful disc here. Skeletal Remains. This one came out kind of early too, and it's just, every time I listen to it, I like it more. There's something new to hear, something new to discover. Got like a tan and brown merge here. So that is my number 1 album for 2018. We got through it in just under an hour. Thank you for watching this whole crazy thing. I think I just do it for my own benefit, but if you find something you like, leave a comment. If you found something new that you discovered from this video, leave a comment. I'd like to hear that. But yeah, also want to shout out to KFAI and Root of All Evil and Shadow Planet that do heavy metal radio shows on KFAI along with myself. I do Roar of the Underground. So check us all out on Facebook. You can hear our shows. Even if you don't live in Minneapolis, you can hear them online, on demand, after the fact, for up to 2 weeks. We play all kinds of metal. So that's the Metal Evangelist top 40 albums of 20.